Mise en Scène Part 2. View this lecture after reading Chapter 2, Mise en Scène in Understanding Movies. Review the film grammar sheet in the module on D2L to aid in the note-taking process. The videos in the supplemental playlist enhance this lecture. We're going to pick up where we left off with territorial space. How the subjects are arranged in relation to the camera. There are 5 positions. Each one sends a different message. Full frontal. The subject faces the camera head-on. This is the most intimate position. It is used sparingly but with maximum effect. Full frontal addressing the camera. Ferris breaks the fourth wall and talks to the camera, making us a part of the show. Quarter turn. A favored position with a high degree of intimacy. While not as intimate as full frontal, the viewer can still read the subject's entire face. Profile. The character faces away from the camera, left or right. The sense of intimacy is cut off because the viewer can't see the subject's entire face. Profile 2. Both subjects are in profile, creating a sense of mystery and inaccessibility between them. Three-quarter turn. The subject is turning away from the camera. It's more extreme than a profile shot. It's more anonymous and antisocial than the shots we've seen so far. Back to the camera. Having the subject's face away from the camera creates a sense of alienation and mystery. The viewer is not able to see the subject's faces at all. It establishes the least amount of intimacy. Proxemic patterns. Relationships of organisms within a given space. The distance between the subjects within the frame. Camera proxemics shows the distance between the subject and the camera. Intimate proxemic pattern. Skin contact to 18 inches. The closer people are to each other, the greater the sense of intimacy. Would you feel comfortable sitting this close to someone you didn't know? Of course not. Intimate camera proxemic. The distance between the subject and the camera is a close-up or an extreme close-up. This puts the viewer at an intimate distance from the subject. Too close for comfort. The intimate camera proxemic can be exploited to create an invasion of personal space. Unlike the previous slide, Freddie is too close for comfort. Did you know proxemic patterns exist in all cultures? We tend to move closer to people we love or like. When strangers stand too close to us, it's intrusive and can make us feel uncomfortable. Next time you're in a public place, observe proxemic patterns. Personal proxemic pattern. 18 inches to 4 feet. Reserved for friends and family. Can communicate a sense of closeness and camaraderie. Personal camera proxemic resembles a medium shot or a medium close-up. Social proxemic pattern, 4 to 12 feet. The subjects in this shot are at a social distance from each other. They're sharing the space without communicating a strong sense of intimacy. Social camera proxemic resembles a long shot. The subjects are sharing the space but not interacting with each other. Public proxemic pattern, 12 feet to 25 feet, tends to be formal and detached. The subjects are not interacting. Public camera proxemic, an extreme long shot. The distance between the subject and the camera prevents the viewer from connecting closely with the subject. Open and closed compositions, also called open and closed forms, refers to how much information the director includes within the frame. Important elements are often withheld from the viewer to create a sense of tension. Open form withholds important information. Part of the subject is cut off, leaves it open to interpretation. We see the woman is upset and crying, but we don't know why. Closed form. Similar to theater, everything is included. Everything is enclosed within the frame. Closed form allows the mise en scène to communicate information to the viewer. Tight and loose framing. The placement of subjects within the frame can suggest confinement or freedom. Tight framing. The subject appears trapped within the frame. She has little opportunity to move about freely. Loose framing. The subject has room to move, creates a sense of freedom. Lighting as an element of mise en scène. Available or natural lighting is often used in realist films for a neutral presentation. High-key lighting is often used in musicals, comedies, and romantic comedies to present a bright or glamorous look. Low-key lighting is used to create high contrast by using light and dark symbolically in color and black and white film. Available lighting example. Used to establish the realism in this composition. High-key lighting example. Often associated with classical Hollywood glamour. Low-key lighting example. Areas of light and dark create a mood and a tone. Color can be used to create a dominant all-over color. Color can be used symbolically. Color can be used to set up a contrast. Color can be used to draw the eye to an area of the frame. Dominant color can be created through a filter on the lens. Blue communicates visual subtext to the viewer. We can see that people are blue because they're watching a movie. Color symbolism. Pink is used symbolically here. The young woman on the bed is shown as juvenile and childlike. The black sweater creates a sense of dominance in the subject wearing it. Color foil. Green is the dominant color. Red, the complementary color to green, is the color foil. The eye is drawn to the center of the frame. The color foil creates a pop of color. Lenses. Wide-angle lens creates a deep depth of field, communicates maximum visual subtext. Telephoto lens creates a shallow depth of field, limits visual subtext. Normal lens creates a neutral composition, often associated with the style of realism. Fast film stock works in low light conditions. Fast film stock is highly sensitive to light. Fast film stock can produce a grainy image. Fast film stock examples. In the film Barry Lyndon, director Stanley Kubrick uses fast film stock and candlelight to create photography with a grainy warmth. It reflects the light quality of the Victorian era, the film's setting. Slow film stock requires more illumination than fast film stock. Slow film stock is capable of capturing colors precisely and vividly. In Amélie, director Jean-Pierre Jeunet uses slow film stock to create bright, popping color. Density of the composition establishes the texture of the image through how much visual information is packed into the frame. There are three basic densities: stark, moderate, and highly detailed. Stark. A limited amount of information is in focus, creating a stark composition density in this still from Pulp Fiction. Moderate. The eye can easily take in all the elements without being overwhelmed. Remember, the eye can take in 7 or 8 elements simultaneously. We're provided with information about the subject and his location. Highly detailed. This image is packed with visual information and texture. The eye catches on all the visual texture in the frame. This week's assigned film is Amélie, released in 2001, directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. 2 choices for response questions. 1. How is color used symbolically in Amélie? Make sure you let me know which specific colors you're analyzing and the meanings they communicate. Or, how do proxemic patterns and/or territorial positions establish a connection between the viewer and the characters? Films featured in this lecture. Students are encouraged to explore these films. You can take a closer look at these films in the PDF version of this lecture on D2L. Until next time, have a productive week.